Hello, everyone. This is Todd Brow with Senior Insurance Marketing, and we are happy to have Americo Financial Life and Annuity. They are a great company located out of Kansas City, Missouri, and they have some great products. And with me today from Americo is Andrew and Kaitlin, and they're going to talk to you about the great products that they have at Americo and products that you need to put in your portfolio so you can offer them to your clients. So without further ado, I'm going to swing it over to Kaitlin and Andrew and let them tell you more about Americo.
Awesome. Thank you, Todd. As you mentioned, one of the things that we love to cover on this today, and both Kaitlin and myself, Andrew, will cover all of this for you, is we want you to be able to walk away today being equipped to use our e-application. As everybody knows, when you're watching the news, there's a lot of crazy news out there right now about face-to-face and social distancing and all of that. And one of the things from an Americo standpoint is, we're always a couple of years ahead of everyone else. When we came out with our e-application, we were the first one to really do it. And we're going to talk to you today about our instant decision process on our e-app. And the great news with that is you can do it face-to-face if you'd like. And you can also do it remote if you would like. And remote could be two people in the same city, just not in the same room. Or remote could be two people in a completely different city or different state. So with that, before we get to the next screen here and start rolling, one of the things that you'll find on the first screen there is it says Americo Financial Life and Annuity, the instant decision company, and you'll see it says Great Southern Life Insurance Company. One of the things that you'll notice when we talk about this is Americo and Great Southern Life are synonymous for us. So when you hear Americo, think Great Southern Life. The reason we say that is we came out with Medicare Supplement several years back on the Americo side, and recently in 2019 launched Great Southern Life, and the launch went fantastic. Everybody was loving the rates and the e-application and the bonus and all the stuff we'll cover. But when you hear Americo, keep in mind Great Southern Life. More importantly, when you're looking at quoting tools, you want to make sure that you downloaded Great Southern Life, that it's appearing. When we first launched, we had people saying, hey, we heard all these great rates and we want to use your e-app and we don't see you. You must not be that competitive. And then we said, go back to your quoting tool and add us. And they added us and they said, oh, we get it now. So very important to make sure that you add Great Southern Life to your quoting tool as well. So with that said, Kaitlin, do you want to cover the Americo Advantage?
Sure, thanks, Andrew. So Americo is one of the largest privately held insurance companies in the United States. We're located out of Kansas City, Missouri. You can see a picture right there. Those are our office buildings downtown. We are rated A with AM Best, a really strong rating there, very financially stable. We're competitive on products, innovative processes, and the first carrier with a true instant decision. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. That's what we're here mostly today to talk about, is that instant decision that we give you 100% of the time.
That is awesome. And one of the things, and Kaitlin mentioned we'll touch on, but one of the things I don't want to gloss over with this, when you see the word true instant decision, we're going to hammer this point home today. You'll be tired of hearing of it by the time we're done with this. But the reason we like to bring this up and make sure that we keep this in front of you is when we say instant decision, that term gets watered down a little bit in the industry, because there's a lot of people that will say they have an instant decision, and then you find out you fill out an e-app, but then you have to go back after the fact and have a point of sale call, or you have to call an underwriter and have them re-ask the questions. With us, when we say true instant decision, what we mean by that is it's a one-stop shop. When you use our e-app, you're done. So whether you're writing it in the morning, writing it in the evening, writing it on the weekends, when you use our instant decision e-app, it is a complete e-app, and there's no point of sale call after the fact. So one of the things we love to talk about right off the bat is our cash bonus. As a matter of fact, for senior insurance marketing, we had an agent that got a very, very nice bonus check. I won't use his name out there because I certainly don't want everybody calling and asking for some money. But you'll notice on there it says 10% cash bonus. And to cover this very quickly, how this works is you have a 6-month window to write $30,000 in paid production. So if you write $30,000 in a 6-month window, the good news is it started March 1st. So we're about 2.5 weeks into it. So you have plenty of time to do this. But if you write $30,000 with at least 65% underwritten, that gives you the opportunity to get a 10% bonus with us. So the very easy math is 30,000, 65% underwritten, gets you a minimum $3,000 bonus check. So it's a 6-month window, but you'll notice there it says get cash bonus in May, July, and September. You say, well, I thought you said it was 6 months. Well, it is, but what we do is we actually pay you as the agent. Once you've crossed that threshold, we'll pay you in 2-month increments. So in other words, between now and the end of April, if you write 30,000 in paid production with us and you have at least 65% underwritten business, we'll go ahead and cut you that check in the beginning of May. And then again in the beginning of July, and then again in the beginning of September. The more you write, and so long as you stay within that qualification period and the qualification criteria, we'll continue to cut you checks. So you have a 6-month window, but if you do it in 2 months, we'll go ahead and pay you in 2 months. And then everything after that, you're just adding to your bonus for the next 2-month period. So the last thing we'll touch on here is you'll notice top 5 bonus. Number 1 gets 5,000, number 5 gets 1,000, and so on in between. So again, just another way from Americo and Great Southern Life to be able to incentivize you on our way of saying thank you for the business, for everything that you all do for us. So again, you'll hear a lot about it. It's called You First Rewards. And again, it's a 10% bonus based on your production. So with this one, Kaitlin, if you want to cover some of the stuff about Americo GSL and why use us.
Sure. So like Andrew said, the names Americo and Great Southern Life, you can use those synonymously. They both are Medicare supplement products. Most of the states, 33 of them actually, are under the name Great Southern Life. So that one you're going to see quite often. They both have that excellent carrier rating, the A with AM Best, and that instant underwriting decision that we've touched on. So with that, you're going to have tablet, voice, and email signature options available, which is very important, especially today when we may be wanting to limit our contact with individuals a little bit more. So you can take that e-app directly over the phone without having to get in front of the client. You can take their signature through a voice signature or an email signature and then have the whole process completed in under 15 minutes. We don't ask you for any prescription or doctor's information on the app. We thought that was a little repetitive because we do run prescription check in the background. So we're not going to make you go track down those pill bottles, try and spell all those prescriptions correctly. We thought that was a little bit of a waste of you and your client's time. There's never a follow-up phone interview. So this process truly is between you and your client. There's no third party involved. They get to speak directly with you, their agent, and nobody else. And then immediate coverage for your client. So we do have the option to electronically deliver their policy and their temporary ID card. And we think that's really important because it can help you submit the sale a little bit. Once you get through the process, you can tell them that their temporary policy and ID card are in their email right now, ready to be used, and they will still get their permanent ID card in the mail in a few days.
That is awesome. And one of the things to highlight as well, and Kaitlin, thank you for pointing it out, when you see the different signature options, keep in mind the tablet signature is going to be face-to-face. So you're sitting across from a client, face-to-face, you sign it, they sign it, and you're done. The other two options of voice and email signatures are going to be more the remote options. And I will tell you, if you're running business early in the morning or late at night or on the weekends, you really want to focus on that email signature option, because the email signature is just between yourself and the client. So if I'm in Kansas City and Todd is in Lincoln, Nebraska, I can call Todd as the agent, write an application, I send him an email, he signs it, I sign it, we get the decision, and we're off and running. The other option is the voice signature, which again is where I would fill out the application with Todd, and then we would three-way call in Americo, and Americo in essence would just, your voice would be the signature. So Todd would say, yes, I agree to have Americo run prescription check for us. We would run it and then get a decision. But by far the most popular is tablet, and then working remote, we would strongly encourage you to take a look at our email signature process, because again, it doesn't include a third party. All it does is include yourself and the agent, the agent and the client. So I touched on this earlier when we first delved into this, but again, keep in mind our rates are going to be very competitive at Great Southern Life. But if we're not showing up in the top several, one of the things to do is make sure that you've added it to your quoting tool. I know it sounds repetitive, but again, we got some feedback that people said they weren't seeing it until they went in and actually added it. So again, very important to be able to do that. One of the things that's well to keep in mind is you'll see on the screen AmericoMedsup.com. That's www.AmericoMedsup.com. This is a great way to learn all about Americo, all about Great Southern Life, and all about our products. So you'll be able to dive into this. There's no login required. So if you're somebody listening to this and say, you know, I'm not quite contracted with Americo yet, no worries at all. Makes it very simple to be able to pull up this website, and you can learn. You can see our rates, our applications, our training videos, really anything and everything you would need to be equipped to go out and write a Medicare supplement policy, Great Southern Life or Americo. You can get right here. Again, no login required. Very simple to use, but if you're bookmarking anything in your phone, we would encourage you to bookmark AmericoMedsup.com. Again, it just gives you that opportunity to be able to pull up everything you need to know on a pretty quick basis. So, Kaitlin, do you want to cover the household discount?
Yeah. So Americo and Great Southern Life offer a very strong 10% household discount in almost all of the states. In the states that require those individuals to have a policy with the same company, which would be Americo, we actually got rid of the household discount in those states, and we decided to lower the rates for everybody because we thought it was a little hard to qualify. So in most states, we do have that 10% discount, and the individuals would be eligible for this if they have lived with at least one, but no more than 3 other adults who are age 60 and up. If one of those adults they live with is their spouse, then we will waive the 1-year requirement and the age 60 requirement, and they would qualify for that household discount. And
that
something
is great.
when you're running our quoting tool is to make sure if they qualify for a household discount that you include it, because the rates look that much more competitive.
Absolutely, and we'll cover this a little more when we dive into the e-app itself, but one of the things that's important with this as well is our e-application is very simple. So you select household discount up front when you're running the quoting, and then also when you get to the screen that talks about that, you just put in the individual's name that makes it so you qualify. So it's a very simple process. We're not asking for paper documentation after the fact. We trust you, we trust the client that you guys are going to make the right decision there. So one way to quote us is quote AmericoMedsup.com. That's www.quoteAmericoMedsup.com. I know that a lot of you have different quoting tools, whether you use CSG or you have some kind of proprietary tool. But we've found a lot of agents have had a lot of success just going into the home, and when they think it's a good fit, they just pull up quote Americo Medsup and they say, you know, Ms. Jones, here's your quote, and oh, by the way, we're saving you money. So great way to do it. The screen that you'll notice, it looks very similar to CSG. And as Kaitlin rightly pointed out a little bit ago, you'll see on the left-hand side that red circle that says apply discount. Very important to make sure you hit that discount because of the fact that, again, if you're saving 10% in the commodities market, that could be a big deal. So very important to hit that. So one of the questions I'm sure some of you are asking is, well, how do you get started? So I've heard a lot about Great Southern Life, or I've heard a lot about Americo. I've heard the company history. I like the bonus. I like the e-app. But how do I actually do it? So one of the things that we'll do in the interest of time is we've actually shot a video that walks through a full e-application, and Todd will have access to that to make sure that all of you listening to this have access. But we're going to walk you through the first couple steps of just how to get started with Americo so that you're off and running. The first thing is you'll pull up Americo.com. So www.Americo.com. And when you pull it up, you'll see a screen similar to this, and you'll hit agent login. So this is a key point. So some of you that are writing business with us on the life insurance side, you're used to hitting that other button that says sales connection. So what's important here is to hit agent login here, because you'll be logging into Americo.com to get to our e-application. And you come to a screen similar to this, and you put your username and password in. And for some of you listening to this, you're probably like, hey, I've been contracted, but I haven't created a username and password. What do I do? So again, there you'd hit create new account. And when you create a new account, it's very simple to do. It takes about 2 minutes to do. You put in your writing number, the last 4 of your social, a couple of username and password, but then you answer a couple questions in regards to some security questions. So if you forget your password, you can easily identify it. And then you're good to go. But the key to all this is make sure you wait 2 hours before going back into the system. So once you create your account, wait 2 hours. We always say it's a good time to create it in the evening. You know, if you're winding down at the end of the night, again, it only takes 2 minutes to do. Go ahead and create the account at 6 or 7 at night, because then you know it's ready to roll in the morning for you. Again, it takes our IT department about 2 hours to build your profile on the back end. So very important to make sure that you wait the amount of time, because we certainly don't want any hiccups as we move forward. So with that, you go to, once you put in the username and password, it goes to Americo.com. And one of the things you'll see there on the right-hand side is you'll see some blue buttons. And the blue buttons have been enhanced even since this PowerPoint, and you'll find that you would just select the state. So in other words, Great Southern Life is in a majority of the states that we're in. So you'd select the e-app there, the blue button for Great Southern Life, and you'd click it and it takes you into our portal. And Kaitlin, do you want to cover some of the arrows here on the portal here?
Yeah. So this portal is going to contain basically anything you would need to know. You can see that first top arrow on the left-hand side, that's your message center. If there's anything extra you may need to do for a policy, if there's something you need to look at, that's a great place to start. Underneath that, that's your earnings. You can see where your commissions are. And on the right-hand side, the third arrow there is pointing to the e-application. So you can see that top link is to actually start an e-application if you're with a client. But then underneath that button, we also have a demo e-application. So if you're new to writing e-applications or you want to practice before you actually get in front of a client, you can go into that demo e-application. You can write as many as you want. You can mess around with it. You won't break anything. It's not actually connected to anything. So that's a great place to start if you're new to writing e-apps.
I would agree. And again, for a lot of you, obviously we're covering the e-application in good detail today, but one of the things I always like to point out at this point in the process is if you're somebody that's writing paper applications and you want to try our e-app, Kaitlin's exactly right. Please log on to the demo site. It mimics our production site, shows you how everything works. And there may be some of you on the call that say, you know what, I've been writing paper applications for 20 years. I don't really need to move to e-apps. I want to do paper applications. We'll tell you that's okay too. We certainly support paper applications. One of the things that we do, though, we turn around those paper applications very quickly. And the reason we say that is when we get a paper application in our office, what we do is basically put the paper application into our e-app. So somebody takes the data and puts it into our e-app and then gives the decision. So I bring that up to say if you're somebody that says, I've been doing paper for a long period of time, we certainly support paper application. But just keep in mind that all our team's doing is taking that paper application and turning it into an e-app. So the next screen here is once you select e-application, you'll come to this. This is the first screen on our e-application. One of the things to keep in mind, again, as I mentioned before, we have a video that walks through our full e-app with a voiceover. So you can walk through every screen, identify everything. So again, I'm not going to walk through every screen here, but the first thing you would do here is hit new quote and start a new application. You put in some basic information about the client and you hit to get quote. And again, at this point here, you probably would have already quoted the client and the client would know they're saving a bunch of money moving over to Great Southern Life. And you notice the different plans we have available. We have A, F, F high deductible, G, and N. So at this point here, the client would select what they want. Let's say they select the plan G, and you're off and running. And you'd go through and fill out the e-application. One of the things that you'll notice here is a lot of our health questions, all of our health questions are yes and no. So there's not a gray area. We don't have a text box to say, well, what do you think about this? What we ask you as the agent to do is ask the client the question. And if the client answers the question no, great, check no, move on. Now, these are true knockout questions. So if the client answers one of the questions yes, the application is done. So again, what we didn't do is because we wanted an instant decision and we valued your time as an agent, we don't have a text box or anything like that for you. It's a true yes or no. Now, the other thing that we get asked on a consistent basis with this is, what happens if I'm doing an open enrollment policy? Like you're talking about, underwriting questions. Our system's smart enough to know when it's an open enrollment policy, both of these screens will get skipped. So you won't see it. So it's not awkward when you're sitting in front of a client. The client's not going to say, why did you skip screen 4 and 5? Very simple of a process. So Again, here, skipping through a couple screens, but you'll notice you cover the personal piece, you cover the coverage. If it's underwritten, then what's the replacement? In other words, what's the policy they're replacing? Grab the payment information, a little bit of information about you, and then I'll let Kaitlin cover some of the signing methods.
Yeah, so as we talked about, there's lots of different options for signatures, whether you're in front of the client or whether you're completing an application over the phone. So the first one up there you'll see is electronic signature. And this is for clients if you are not in the same room with them. If they have an email address, you can select this option and we will send them their documents via email. They'll log into their email, view the documents, and then provide their signature. The second option, that's signature pad. And if you're sitting in front of a client, this is the best option for you. So if you select this option, both the agent and the applicant will sign on either the tablet, the laptop, the computer with their finger or with the mouse. Very simple. The third option, that's voice signature. Again, if you're doing an application over the phone, this is a great option for you. You will call in. So this is the only option where you will have to actually speak with a third party because they will take that signature for you. The applicant will state their name and the date to sign over the phone. And the fourth option, this is print documents. This is if someone really wants to sign on that piece of paper, you can print it off for them, they can sign it, and then you can upload that document.
That is great. And as you can tell, all these options are available. Again, the most common by far is signature pad. So one of the things we get asked from time to time is the name could look a little confusing when you say signature pad. There's not anything you have to hook into your tablet or laptop. Basically, it just means that you're signing electronically. So you're signing with your finger on an iPad or a tablet, or you're signing with your mouse. There's not an actual pad you hook in. Again, the other thing you'll notice that it's at the bottom, all of this works for our underwritten open enrollment business. If you are writing GI or DI business, we do require a paper application and a wet signature. So again, we know that your focal point is open enrollment and underwritten business, so it shouldn't really come into play, but did want to clarify when you have to use a paper application. And as Kaitlin mentioned, this is a snapshot. If your client says, you know, I'd love the electronic delivery of my cards, we certainly can do that instantaneously for your client. So there's not a need for your client to have to go to the mailbox if they don't want to. That's certainly an option if they would like, but we found that a lot of people say, you know, just give me the electronic delivery so I have access to it right away. Especially in this day and age of when you order something, everybody wants it instantaneous. Americo fits that need for the client to be able to give that to them right away. So this is just a copy of the application itself. Again, the reason we bring this up is everything that we fill out in an e-app fills out the application on the back end. So in other words, when you get to page 4 on an e-app, you're filling out an application on the back end. One of the great things about this as well is you may be somebody that says, you know what, I run business 3 days a week and I have an office day on a Thursday, or I have an office day on a Monday. The great thing for us is when you have office days, you can go in if you would like. You don't have to, but if you'd like, you can go in and print our e-application off. So what I mean by that is that let's say you go write 8 e-applications, you get instant decisions on all of them. Let's say they're all approved. If you go to your office day, if you're somebody that says, you know, I still have cabinets, I still have a secretary, I still want to have a paper copy of an application in case somebody calls, you can always go into our system and print those off. So rest assured, if you use our e-app, you're not losing any data, you're not losing any information. It's still there and available for you. So a couple key points, just phone numbers, to take a look at. You got our claims department, our customer service, commissions, new business. Our marketing support team is there to help you any step of the way. If you'll notice, one of the things that's not on there, it doesn't have a line for underwriting. If you notice, there's not a phone number for underwriting, and the reason being is you don't need to talk to an underwriter with us. What we have found is that giving you an instant decision right there, it eliminates a lot of that. And so we want to stress the fact that you don't see an underwriting phone number there on the front end or the back end. So we're not a company that's going to go out and do a bunch of risk assessments and have you sit on hold for 7 minutes and then talk to us and then hope it works. We say, you know what, if our application takes 12 to 15 minutes, just trust the system. Use the system for underwriting. We found, again, our top 5 agents for this last goal period for you first. We're using the system to an extraordinary degree. As a matter of fact, one gentleman was well north of 200,000 in production in a 6-month period of time, and it's all done through e-applications. So again, we don't have an underwriting or risk assessment. If you're looking for risk assessment, what we ask is that if you look at the health questions, if the client can answer the health questions no, then you don't really need to call for a risk assessment. Again, it's going to be a very fast process on our end. So with that, Kaitlin, is there anything that we should wrap up with or talk about the video or anything like that before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I would just really like to stress, if you're someone who's never written e-apps before, go out to our portal, try that demo e-app, play around with it, try and enter in a applicant or two, and then you can really get a feel for it. It's a lot easier and less scary than some people may think. And then give a real e-app a try, especially with everything crazy going on in the world right now. It's a great time to see if you can do some of those sales over the phone.
Absolutely. So with that, one of the things we wanted to close with, again, Americo.com. If you're brand new to us, wait 2 hours once you create that username and password. Keep in mind, again, in this day and age, that you can write whenever you're working, our e-apps. So if you're writing on the weekends, fantastic. If you're writing at 7:30 at night, awesome. And really, the value of that is, at the end of the day, is you're never late to the next appointment when you use Americo, because everybody's been there where you're running 4 and 5 and 6 appointments in a day. And that 5th and 6th one, you're already 30 or 45 minutes behind because you got all these paper applications and you're figuring out what to do with them, and you've been on the phone forever for risk assessments. And we took all that away for you. And again, we want to be known as the easiest company to do business with, and all the feedback we've gotten from our e-app so far would tell us that we're definitely on the right track with that. So with that, Todd, we'll turn it back over to you, but thank you guys so much for your time. And if there's ever anything we can do, please don't hesitate to call that number on the screen. That gives to our Kansas City office, and they're there to help any step of the way.
Thank you for having us. I'm excited to work with you all.
Thanks, Andrew and Kaitlin. Really appreciate it. And Americo, what can I say? A great company and also instant decision. So when you meet with the client, whether it be across the kitchen table or via the phone, you have an instant decision on their status on their policy. And matter of fact, as Andrew and Kaitlin said, that you can, matter of fact, they can print off the policy card for them, so they have it and they can put it in their wallet. So it just it's kind of instant decision and all done in one transaction. A really smooth process, and it's a product suite that you need to add to your portfolio. So give us a call here at Senior Insurance Marketing. Our phone number is 402-434-7761. Again, 402-434-7761. And we'd be happy to help you get contracted with Americo. If you have any questions or need a quote, we are here to help you grow your business. And also go to our website, simkt.com, and click on the top right-hand corner for Get a Quote. And that is our CSG quoting tool, which is free for you to use. All you have to do is register and get signed up for that, and you have access to the Medicare supplement products, including Americo. So again, give us a call. We'll be happy to help you out and get you started, and because we're here to help you grow your business. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.